welcome to the Hit Play. I'm Isaac. James,
Yes.
on the other side of the desk.
Hi.
What's going on?
My arm is
Broken.
sprained. Not broken. Sprained.
Inoperable.
Inoperable. As in cannot be operated.
James
Not-
James tried to do his best Apollo Ono impression and was great because Apollo Ono also ate shit on ice at one point.
Hey, that's how it goes, you know. Yeah, I fell backwards on ice. I hit my elbow first, so it didn't break, but it's like the worst funny bone in the world. It's okay. It's good. I can't extend it, but I can,
Grab
grab
things.
things.
At least nobody had to operate on it.
Yeah, no, seriously.
That could have been worse
Seriously. And expensive.
and expensive. Anyways, it's Friday. We're
I
here.
love when podcasts are like, oh, it's this is a murder podcast, and they always start out with, so how was your day? I hear you had squirrels in your trees. It's like, anyway, by the way, murder.
Just peeking behind the scenes a little bit,
Yeah.
as they say in Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know.
Behind the GM table.
Yeah, there you go. We're behind the GM table. Anyways, this week we are talking movie trailers with the release release of the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer.
Hello, Peter.
Hello, Peter. Hello, Alfred Molina, you beautiful soul. We kind of decided let's talk about trailers and what makes a trailer good, what makes a trailer bad. Spoiler alert, half of the actually 85% of the MCU's trailers are bad.
You would say so?
I would 100% say so. But before we do that, our sponsored segment of today
Okay, don't say that.
by Box Office Mojo. Not really sponsored, I wish.
Sponsored.
A little recap on the box office. Candyman taking home the big kahuna, as they say.
Now, you were surprised by that. Is it because you did not know this movie existed?
Yeah, this is another sequel to a horror movie that I didn't know needed to be a thing, and yet was a thing, and yet it was a successful thing. Like Don't Breathe 2, which is still hanging around the top 5. Yeah, Candyman. Did you ever see the original?
Nope. I didn't know. So ironically, I saw trailers for it, but I didn't watch those trailers, and I had no interest whatsoever because it didn't seem like the kind of movie that appealed to me. And most of the advertising I saw around it, I wasn't able to immediately pin what kind of film it was gonna be. I could tell if it was horror. It had this weird you know how Christopher Nolan movies always have this element where it's like you can just tell it's gonna be trippy and weird,
Yeah.
but you can't tell how it's gonna be trippy and weird.
Yeah.
That's what I felt just seeing the trailer, where I was like, where are the bees coming from? What's going on here? But nah, it didn't capture. Here's the problem with COVID. Well, here's one of the problems with COVID affecting.
Here we go. This is CDC expert James Harding with us. Why COVID's an issue in America.
Why the real issue here
Do you write for BuzzFeed?
is that of all these movies coming out, it's like the movie really has to force me to want to go to the theater.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I already know that I'm gonna see Dune the day it opens.
Yeah,
But
probably gonna ask off work for that one.
yeah, I'm probably gonna have to actually. But almost every other one of these movies, with the exception of maybe Black Widow or Suicide Squad, it's like I don't feel
Compelled.
compelled to go and see.
Yeah.
it. And even then, Black Widow you just watch on Disney Plus, Suicide Squad watch on HBO. It's like even then So I mean, that's just me personally.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. I think
Yeah.
even pre-COVID, I was very selective on what I choose because it's expensive to go to the movie theaters.
Yeah.
It's you're paying $6 to buy a ticket if you're going to a matinee. Probably like $8 to $12 if you're going at night.
Yeah.
Another $10 in snacks. You're spending 2.5 hours in a dark theater, so it can get a little pricey and it can take a lot of time out. And so now with the having to wear a mask for 2.5. I don't even like wearing my mask at work. So, we're having to wear it for my free time when I want to do something fun. Um,
It has to be worth it.
yeah, and like I saw Green Knight, I saw Tenet. I think those are the only two movies I've seen in theaters during COVID that are new releases. Everything else has been at home or just haven't really cared to watch. And yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think Dune. I think maybe
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, probably. James Bond.
Yeah.
Those are probably the only movies I would actually go to the theaters. Like, I will actively make a trip out of going to the theaters to go watch those movies. Everything else is kind of like, eh.
Yeah. And
So,
the thing too, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, but you make the excuse of, well, I'll wait to see what the reviews are, or I'll wait to see
Yeah.
what people are saying.
yeah,
But by that time, you know you're not gonna go see it anyway, even if people like it.
yeah.
You always have some other excuse.
The only movie where the reviews worked on me was probably Parasite in the
Really?
last maybe like 4 years. Where it's
Not bad.
like it's gotten so many. Actually, I take that back. No. Oh, Us too.
Us?
Yeah,
Those are good movies.
yeah. So sometimes it works, but sometimes I won't because sometimes I also get burned, like going to watch some DC movie, aka Wonder Woman 84. Oh, that's another one I saw in theaters, and yeah,
It was so bad you blocked it out of your memory.
yeah. I wish I could, but do you make anything of it being a horror movie? Maybe people are just are tired of watching superhero movies / franchises. They want to see something cool.
It's really, it had nothing else to compete with.
Yeah, because Free Guy and Paw Patrol, the behemoth that is Paw Patrol,
They came
and
out
Ryan
weeks ago.
Reynolds
Yeah.
came out weeks ago. Jungle Cruise still is around, but like 5 million this week isn't much.
That's still crazy.
I mean, as far as new releases and Egg Rescue and Together,
Which
Mm,
are
what even are those movies?
so when it comes to like the competition Candyman had, it had nothing,
Yeah,
which is why it was, because it's going up against movies that are losing money this weekend anyway.
yeah.
So it has everything to gain.
Like Reminiscence, a whole 60% drop
Yeah.
off of 10 million. Or what is it? $1 million?
Comparing Michael Jordan to a middle schooler. Every movie looks better compared to Reminiscence,
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah,
which was actually the biggest drop, I think. Yeah,
it looks like you're right. Hold on, let's
59.4%.
hit that button. That sort by button.
Crazy.
Even in Dreams had a 12,000% increase from last week. In case you guys had that on your spreadsheet there, your betting man. Yeah, out of all the big blockbusters, it looks like Forever Purge dropped to 63% from last week.
The Forever Purge has been in theaters for 4 weeks now.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
fair.
that one's going out.
Yeah, fair enough. Reminiscence. Yeah, probably the biggest out of the recent releases.
So yeah, I mean, it just didn't have anything else to compete with.
Now,
And it's, I mean, to your point of it being a horror movie, it's getting close to October. It's
Spooky
almost
season.
Spooky season.
spooky season.
So I think there's an audience for those kind of weird, trippy horror films, and Candyman. I mean, better get through the door first.
Yeah.
More or less.
Well, there is a big release that I think is probably this one and its quote unquote sequel or continuation in the franchise that are going to be interesting to watch. Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings comes out this weekend. Are you excited? Are you going to go see it? I should ask.
No.
Okay, fair enough. It has been getting good reviews, and it is tracking. I don't know how they do this, but it is tracking to, I guess, break the Labor Day box office record. What is it?
That's interesting.
That's what this website's saying.
Labor Day is the day everyone has off, so they're willing to do something to go see a movie. I don't know what the Labor Day record
The
is
record is 30.6, which was set by Halloween, the 2007.
That's nothing. It's gonna beat that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it feels like it will.
Yeah.
Because it's
Marvel.
like this is Marvel's thing is we build stars.
It's also
if you come to see our movies, you will not be bored unless
it's not the stars, it's the universe itself.
Yeah.
This is their Rogue One. It's their extended universe at this point. And this one in particular, I can tell you, has had, from what I have just seen online, 1,000% more hype than Black Widow had for it.
I wonder why that is.
Almost no one talking about Black Widow.
Do you think it has to do with because it's an Asian star?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because, like, in the trailers for it, there's all the fighting, those action scenes.
Yeah.
I have seen on at least the Twitter accounts I follow have all been praising, the framing and the clear action lines and all that stuff. So I've been seeing a lot more people excited for this movie than I anticipated. And I didn't even think it was a movie. I thought it was going to be another one of their
TV shows.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, not bad, I think it will break that record, though, personally.
Be interesting. Another one that's going to be interesting to watch in the same franchise, Eternals. Is that going to make money? That might be the most riskiest movie I think Marvel has put out to date, because it has so many A-list actors, and yet, what is it? Like Shang-Chi, we could say, oh, it's just it's like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's cosmos, it's martial arts, it's this and that.
What
is Eternal? They're hyping it up as like I guess from what I've read is they're marketing it as the forerunners to Thanos and like why Thanos does what he does.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Does anybody beyond movie
the
nerds?
comic book fans,
does anybody beyond comic book fans actually care for that?
Jim Starlin, who wrote the original Thanos,
is Angelina Jolie and Jon Snow gonna really push a lot of people to go watch why Thanos becomes Thanos?
Yeah, that's a good point, because that part of, and that's one of the weird things where it's like remembering that the MCU movies and the comic books are actually two separate universes, and there's so much comic material, but there's not much movie material, and so they are just picking and choosing. They're just
what
going,
to do.
Yeah. Marvel is literally, the way they're making their movies is they're just going through our comic book history and saying, oh, this Thanos idea from this comic, this Thanos idea from this comic. Thank you, Jim Starlin. Thank you, John Hickman. But when it comes to how they're going to, like, I don't know, Eternals it feels much more reliant on the comic book side of stuff. As an idea. So I don't have much. That movie would not break the label box office record.
I don't think it would either.
No, I think it will do well, because if anything, just the fact that it's a little bit different will mean something.
But see, you say that, but Marvel also tried to do that with a TV show, a little-known TV show that nobody even knew existed. I don't even remember the name for it. I think it was...
Amazing example. They tried it on a TV show that maybe that's why it bombed so badly. Nobody remembers the name for it. Was it like a recent show?
It was Inhumans.
Do
you remember Inhumans?
When was the show out?
Exactly. 2018.
No, I do not remember that.
Yeah. 8 episodes, had 1 season only.
Wow.
You want to know who the cast was?
Was it like Marvel regulars?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. So, well, there you go.
But like, they try to do something different, right? I mean, it has Ramsey Bolton in it. But this was another show because it was this. I remember this show. This show was also being marketed as like the beginning of the universe or some crap like that.
You know what? I do remember now. I never watched it, but I do remember it. That's pretty funny.
That's what I'm saying. So do we think?
That's pretty funny.
Obviously,
well, I think
obviously, Eternals has a much bigger cast to kind of brace itself on,
and it's a movie.
and it's a movie. Not
You only gotta watch it once.
you only
don't
gotta
have
watch
to
it
8
once.
episodes.
You only gotta watch it once, and there you have your money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, this concept is what is like. This is very much Inhumans, just in a movie. So
Okay. Well, we'll have to see.
I'm not gonna bet any money on it that it would fail, but if it does fail, it wouldn't surprise me.
I would be more surprised if people even know Eternals is a thing.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
nobody knows what is that. I don't know what that is.
No. I mean, like Eternals. Like people probably don't even know it's gonna be a movie.
Oh.
I haven't seen any trailers for it. I haven't seen any promotional material for it whatsoever. So if I don't see it, other people must not see it.
Yeah, you're pretty out of the loop with the theaters, with trailers and stuff.
Which is ironic considering we're gonna be talking about trailers.
It's gonna be an interesting podcast. Very flexible. Some more news. Some date changes. Ghostbusters Afterlife moves back a week. No big deal. Mission Impossible 7 moving from May 2022 to September 2022. Interesting. Top Gun Maverick. I don't think this movie's ever gonna come out at this point. It's been pushed back. I remember it being pushed back from.
Swear, wasn't it in like 2019 or something like that?
Yes.
I remember.
It was supposed to come out, I think, like February or March of 2020, and it is now being pushed back all the way to 2022.
Wow.
The first trailer came out in 2019.
Tells me
in fall of 2 years ago. The first trailer came out.
What that tells me is it's something legal. It has to be a legal issue, to some degree.
I think it's just Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise.
Well, he might be at the.
He's 100%.
It was probably the one time he blew up over COVID violations being broken, and now the movie is just in purgatory.
Yeah, right.
So.
Other than that, not really many. I mean, we've talked about.
Are you excited for Clifford the Big Red Dog?
I am very excited for Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Trailer we're gonna have to talk about.
All right, that's it for us. See you guys next week.
Okay, no. So let's
just
start
kidding.
At Clifford
movie
the
trailers.
Big Red Dog.
Clifford
looked decent.
Wait, is this the actual trailer that came out?
Have you not seen the trailer for Clifford the Big
Not
Red
at
Dog?
all. Let's watch it.
The best description of this trailer I have ever, at least the most accurate description of this trailer, was somebody said that it looked like an advertisement for some kind of like, you know how there's like Claritin or Prilosec or something like that. It's one of those like, you're in your 30s and you need to liven up your life again. Take this pill. That's what this trailer looks like.
Holy crap. I can already tell from the thumbnail this is going to be amazing.
It's fine that it's a literally... Okay, I don't know what to say. Here's my issue with this. It's the fact that it's a realistic looking dog. If it was like a kind of goofy animated looking dog, like a flat 2D cartoon looking dog, I think it would have been fine. The fact that it's literally a giant golden retriever puppy,
this is weird.
Very unsettling.
You know what they should have done? They should have just gone full Who Framed Roger Rabbit with this.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if it was just...
That would have worked so much better. You know who did that? Tom and Jerry.
Well, was that movie any
with
good?
No, not at all. But I mean, it's a kids movie. Like, are we gonna sit here and talk about the merit of kids movies?
Yes.
But Tom and Jerry did that.
At least they did that.
With, I think it was Chloe...
Can you pronounce her name?
Grace Moretz.
There you go. Yes, they did that kind of style.
Oh,
jeez.
Kenan Thompson's in this.
The 2D animation. And they didn't go CG, which I would prefer if Clifford did. Yeah.
Yeah, remember this? See, this looks so much more better.
What's funny, too, is
even though the animation looks like crap.
Realistic, it just looks better, though.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how that works? It's like...
Because it's not creepy.
It's not the uncanny valley of a giant realistic CGI dogs.
It's just
like
not
cats.
It's not creepy. Yeah. Yeah, it's not creepy. It doesn't like this is cute. This is fun. This is innocent. I guess if you like to see Tom get hit by a truck.
Well, it's a cartoon. You were just comparing it to Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which has a bit more violence.
Yeah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit's different breed. Anyways,
so yeah, Clifford as a trailer.
big no.
Big no.
Big down. Big thumbs down.
Tom and Jerry as a trailer.
Tom and Jerry is
big up.
I will say though, the one thing they should have done in this trailer is hide the faces of the humans. Like we should have never seen
the actual cartoon.
Yeah, we should have never seen Chloe's face.
You know what would be funny? If they only did that for the trailer.
Yeah,
that would.
And then the real movie is.
But in the movie, you would see their faces.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I mean, you would have to. Yeah.
No,
contracts.
That actually, interestingly, something I wanted to talk about when it comes to trailers is how much of the movie do you want to know? Because there are trailers that straight up give away the movie. Yes. Shout out to Ender's Game. But
shout out to every single franchise trailer ever.
Ender's Game, the trailer for Ender's Game, literally gives away the ending to the movie. And if you read the books, it's like a big plot twist. It's like, to call it a plot twist doesn't even like do it justice. It's like, oh my god, no way. This entire, like, it changes the book.
Ender's Game, that's the one with the kid, right?
Yeah. But the trailer gave it away.
Hmm.
Now, there are also some movie trailers where they seem like completely different movies.
Mm-hmm.
The one I think of is Noah Baumbach has a film with Jeff Daniels called Noah and the Squid and the Whale, I believe it's called. And the trailer was like a family comedy. The movie's incredibly depressing. And whether that's on purpose or not, I don't know. But it's like, to some people that's effective.
Yeah.
Because
you don't know what you're going to get.
Some people appreciate a curveball like that. But to some people it's like, I genuinely thought this is going to be false advertising. Yeah, this is false advertising. So what do you, if you had to find an average? Because for me, my average is more on the, I don't want to know anything. I barely even want to know the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
That's where I sit.
I think I'm in the same boat. I am a big fan if you don't show anything from the third act. Like whether I know it's the third act until I go see the movie. Yeah. Is besides the point. Like if I watch the movie and I'm seeing third act scenes in the trailer, I can tell I'm a little irked by that. And that's how I can tell it's a good trailer.
What has been the most egregious offender
of showing the third act? Yeah. Man, I mean,
other than Ender's Game.
I mean, there's so many. I can't even name them. That's how many bad trailers there are.
There are so many bad trailers that I just forget about them because they're so bad.
Like, I can't even... I know this is such a... We're off to a rolling start of this podcast.
Well, here's the problem, though. Most of the time, a bad trailer, you just won't go see the movie.
Yeah.
So it's like, if the trailer is so terrible that you feel like you're getting spoiled, you just don't go see the movie, what can you do? You know, you can't exactly go back and comment on the trailer because the trailer didn't make you want to watch the movie. So it's a really weird thin line, which is why I don't really watch trailers that much.
Mm-hmm. I watched the first trailer.
I would rather have no information at all than potential interest. And, you know, because like sometimes when you're watching a trailer, like for example, Dune, for example, you know, the way that I would think about it is different from how it looks in the trailers. Yeah. And to me, that kind of turns me off a little bit on it. But, you know, I would rather have no knowledge whatsoever than know whether or not the trailer will sway me to want to watch it or not. Because I'm still going to see Dune, even though I can already tell there are some decisions in it that I'm
against.
But,
Timothée Chalamet is the leading man.
Well, other than that, yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. I think I mean, my favorite trailer that's come out within the past probably 2 years is Top Gun, the new Top Gun Maverick trailer.
The one we were just saying isn't ever going to
Yeah,
come out.
that movie's never gonna come out at this point because the first trailer, at least, it tells you absolutely nothing about what's gonna happen, and yet we get cool aerial shots of Tom Cruise actually in a jet.
Yeah.
We get Tom Cruise on a bike. We get volleyball. We get
Can't have Top Gun without volleyball.
we get Navy pilots in a classroom. We get people hyping up Maverick. And it's like, all right, that's it. I'm going to go see the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I know this is going to be
It's
at
enough
least
to get you excited.
entertained.
Yeah.
I'm going to be entertained.
Yeah.
But I know nothing about the movie.
Yeah.
Like, we've heard there's rumblings that it's about him being an instructor and him having to deal with, a changing Navy and this and that or whatever.
It's basically just gonna be the
But,
plot
like,
to Pacific
there's a
Rim.
funeral scene. We don't know who died.
No.
Whereas if DC was in charge of this or Marvel was in charge of this, we would see the actual murder scene
Probably.
in the first 15 seconds of the trailer.
Yeah.
Like that, I don't think nothing bothers me more than seeing the entire movie in a trailer because it's like, what's the point? You know, what's a good example? Invisible Man
Invisible Man?
with Elizabeth Moss.
What did they do?
So Invisible Man,
Mhm.
right? He's actually invisible.
The actual Invisible Man. That's not a spoiler. It's
So-
the title of the story.
So I think if I remember correctly, it's the man is her stalker or something like that, and he gets arrested or something like that.
This is not the H.G. Wells Invisible Man?
N- Well, it's inspired by it.
Okay. I'd assume so. Because I just straight up thought it was.
But something like that. Don't come at me in the comments if I'm getting this wildly wrong. I don't care. But like something
getting
happens with
stalked.
the man, and
Yeah.
he gets in trouble, and he gets in jail, or he gets killed, or something like that. So she thinks she's safe. Well, then she starts to feel someone watching her all the time, and like things happening all the time. And so what happens is we think as the audience, like, is she being paranoid? Or like, what's the deal? She has schizophrenia. Well, in the actual movie, he has an invisibility suit. So he's messing with her both because by, obviously, stalking her and harassing her, but also because nobody will believe her because they can't physically see her. Like he gets her locked up into a psych ward and into a mental institute.
Yeah.
Because of what, like, it's his form of revenge on her, which I thought was super cool. The problem was they showed this in the trailer, him taking off, or I don't know what it was. I think she like throws oil on him or something, and you can see the outline of the suit. And I'm like, no, this would have been a like amazing thing to see in theaters. I was like, holy shit! Like this is cool. Like this is something. Like that would have been such a smart thing to do for a horror movie, like a new take on a horror movie. And when they showed it in the trailer, I was like, I have no interest in watching this anymore. This is crap. And then the second trailer doubled down on it, and it was like she's reloading a shotgun in her kitchen or something, like looking for him. I was like, oh, come on. Like now we're just turning into an action. Like you had me like the suspenseful, like mind-bending, like mind-blowing thriller, and now it's just straight up shoot 'em up.
Yeah.
And I'm
what's
out.
Funny about that? And this is the same thing with Top Gun 2. The first trailer that will get released for a movie will be very vague.
Yes.
And it'll just have cool shots. The second trailer will always have more plot and story in it. What's funny about that too is that the first trailer will always get you super, super hyped. And you're like, oh my God, planes, trains, automobiles, this is amazing. You know what type of story Top Gun Maverick is going to have. It's going to be teacher and student have an issue. Student has some girl, or Tom Cruise has some girl he falls in love with, but then they have to go on some mission where they have to be friends again by the end of it.
Which Mission Impossible is this?
But the second you see any of that in the trailer, you're gonna be like, oh god, it's gonna be one of these kind of movies, even though you already knew that was gonna happen anyway. Just the fact that you weren't showing it in the trailer, you weren't thinking about that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's part of why I avoid trailers too.
Yeah, my rule of thumb is I watch the first, and if it interests me, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, I have a friend who's always trying to send me movie trailers. I'm like, stop fucking sending me movie trailers. Like, I'm like, I already watched the first one. I'm done. He's like, you don't watch trailers? I was like, no, I don't watch trailers.
Yeah.
I want to be like the
Surprised.
one that he was really contentious on was Tarantino. Once Upon a Time.
Mm.
He was like, just watch the trailer. It looks cool. I'm like, I know it looks cool. That's why I'm
Yeah.
avoiding trailers. I want to see something new when I go watch the movie. Because I feel like the way studios market their movies now with trailers is you can basically watch the whole movie within three-minute trailers.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is funny because do you remember Suicide Squad, the first one? How it
Had a great trailer?
It had a massive trailer. But then it turned out part of the film, there were so many different cuts of the film. And one part that was kind of released, like the what was the theatrical cut was a mishmash of various cuts of the film.
7 different movies, yeah.
One of them was done by the studio that edited the trailer.
Yeah, I remember.
And so the movie itself
felt like a trailer.
Had this like trailer vibe in the movie where it was just like this mismatch of
Mismatch
of scenes that were like meant to get you hyped, but they never had a story and they
yeah,
never built
like
anywhere.
the introduction scenes of all the members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, I remember that as being one. I remember when that was pointed out. It was like, oh, no wonder this like is bad. It's a trailer. The whole movie is the trailer.
The whole movie, the trailer for the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is there for you a perfect trailer?
You know, there is, and it's funny because this is a movie that I don't think I've seen.
But
and we've talked about
it,
but I can rewatch. I think when the trailer came out, I watched it probably like 5 or 6 times.
Let me guess. Percy Jackson.
We're ending the podcast. Good night, everybody. No, it's a Mission Impossible Fallout. I've never seen a Mission. Actually, okay, I'll take that back. I've seen the first 2.
Okay.
Actually, 2 and 3. I think I've seen 2 and 3. There's one of the original trilogy I haven't seen.
That's not important.
But anyways, yeah. Regardless, I've never been a big Mission Impossible fan. You know, I mean, it's a Tom Cruise action movie. Yeah. Like, you can't get. I don't know. I'm not gonna talk bad about Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is our savior. Anyways, but that trailer is so like, it's just perfect.
What about it? Be specific.
Well, I'm a big fan. So I'm a big fan of when you time the music with the cuts in your trailer. Yeah. When you can do that and you nail it, it is perfect. Like, that is just it's like ice cream with a hot chocolate chip cookie or a hot apple pie. You know, really gets me going. But what Mission Impossible does even better is it blends Friction, which is a good trailer song, right?
Which is used in
quite a bit of trailers.
A lot of trailers.
But it blends halfway through with the Mission Impossible theme.
Huh. That's kind of
cool. And it is so brilliant. The way it's just seamless.
Yeah.
From Friction all the way to Mission Impossible. It's like, oh, that's dope.
Now,
I think it's the best trailer. Like, I think it's top 5 trailers.
Is that the one where he's like jumping out of he's doing the jumping?
I'll pull it up. We won't play the music, but I'll pull it up what it looks like.
Because is it also a matter of like what they chose to show? Like the actual visuals they show in the trailer?
Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of volume on this just so we can.
So that we can get copyright striked.
Why can't? Oh, I have it muted on my.
Just leave it muted. Leave it muted.
Yeah. We're just gonna do a live reaction to.
In terms of like the visuals, right now it's definitely leaning towards the random mishmash.
Yeah, which is what I like.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know. I don't know who that guy is. I'm not a Mission Impossible fan, but I don't know who he is.
We don't know what Tom Cruise
I know who Tom Cruise is.
Yeah.
Look, and then Friction starts coming in.
Now Alec Baldwin is talking. What?
See?
Now this, what's funny too is this was the second trailer, I think.
This is the
because-
first.
This is the first trailer. Okay. So there's a lot of
Because they
plot
got
in
worse.
this.
They got worse after this.
Oh really?
See, look at that. You saw like this is my that's my favorite cut in the whole trailer.
In the whole trailer,
Right here, look.
timing.
That's
Just
whoever
that
edited
really
this needs to make
specific 3 seconds of a nightclub scene.
See, but
that
a
is
lot of people
timed
don't
to the
think
music.
to time it like that.
Yeah. Well, what's funny too, the reason why they don't is because there's music in that scene anyway.
Right.
And so, it's like you have to take scenes that were cut to a track and recut it to
Correct.
new music and make sure that it
Flows. Because those are
Yeah.
3 different shots from like 3 different scenes, it
Yeah.
looks like. Right? Because oh wait,
Yeah.
rewind.
don't know.
See?
Yeah. So, it also helps that it's cut to the drum beat of the trailer music, which is
I love it. I love it. This is
No,
my favorite
it's
trailer of all
understandable.
time.
It's understandable.
And then
I'll give you-
we got a dope Henry Cavill scene.
This is
with
the bathroom.
This is the that's the $2 million
That's
mustache.
the mustache right there. Yeah.
That's a $2 million mustache right there.
No CGI effects on that guy.
But look, I want you to hear this. You've never seen this trailer, right?
I have not seen this trailer yet. I've seen parts
Okay,
of it. not
okay.
that
See, so you can hear the
So,
blending
two
of.
musics, yeah, the 2 songs. No. Knowing the movie, what's always interesting about trailers is how, to some degree, you can tell what the hype parts of the movie itself are going to be
Mhm.
when it's like, we need Tom Cruise fighting, or like, Tom Cruise has to fight someone, but the fact that the only fighting he does is in the bathroom scene in the trailer, in the movie, the only fighting that takes place is
Yeah.
going to be that bathroom scene.
But it's gonna be a dope
It's going to
fight.
be, and let me tell you, people, you don't even have to watch the movie to see that scene. It's amazing. Or
I think
when it's
Netflix
like-
put it up, didn't they? I think
probably-
Netflix has it.
I remember seeing stuntmen react to that scene. If you've ever seen that YouTube
It's a
series,
it's a
Stuntman,
great fight scene,
it seriously is.
especially because Henry Cavill looks freaking jacked. He's throwing dudes around and
Yeah.
putting dudes through pillars. It's a great fight scene.
Now I'll give you one. When it comes to stuff timed to music, one of my favorite trailers examples of that is Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now,
I think I've seen this one.
this is like the most random trailer
This one?
to choose. We'll see.
So we're just down a little bit.
What I love about this trailer is simply just the fact that they have this. First off, the clips they choose are timed to the music of the trailer. The trailer music is trailer music. It's not like from the movie or
Yeah,
anything like that.
yeah.
It is an orchestral version of Clair de Lune by Debussy. And there is this moment where one of the monsters shows up and it's timed perfectly to the music. And it is like, It's
I
like-
do know this one.
it
I remember
is
this one.
actually goosebumps inducing because it's so nerdy to say that because it's Godzilla. But to be like,
Dude, these movies have amazing
they
trailers.
have great
Like
trailers.
for
You know
a
what?
franchise
Yeah.
that I've been harping on how franchises always ruin their movies. These, I mean, we
Godzilla-
can infer what's gonna happen,
Yeah.
obviously, because
Godzilla
you
was-
watch one franchise, you watch them all, but like you don't know anything of what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
These trailers are really amazing, all of them. Godzilla vs
Yeah.
Kong is another one that's fantastic,
Or
Or the first
Bryan
King Kong.
Cranston one. Yeah.
or the first Bryan Cranston one when the ending.
Dude, that shot right there in the trailer when Mothra spreads its wings and it has all of the with the dudes falling in the sky.
This part is probably my favorite. This is when I saw this, I was like, "Damn, this is gonna be a dope movie." This movie sucked, but it was a dope trailer.
I actually like this movie, but
I thought it was boring.
you know what? I
Too
think
much. They focused too much on the humans,
go
which
back
they
a little bit-
learned.
Go back a little bit.
Which
too,
they learned.
even further back.
Where is the the Halo jumpers.
It should be.
Shouldn't they be coming?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here they come.
This
This part.
freaking trailer, man. The only reason I saw this in theater was because this trailer was like
Yeah, no, this
the
trailer got me really,
most
really
hyped
hyped.
thing on earth. at the
That scene
time.
right there when you well, the thing about this trailer too that's so smart is we don't see Godzilla's full body.
No,
Like we see the destruction of him.
and we
Like
just
we see
parts of
buildings
it.
drop. We
Yeah.
see, like there's the scene when the flares go up and we can
Mhm.
see like his legs,
Yeah.
and we're like, holy shit, this is a huge monster
Massive
they're about to fight.
lizard.
Until the very end when
They
the
reveal his face.
bunkers close and we
Yeah.
see his face, and I thought that was so
No,
smart.
dude, this movie got me. I'll tell you what. The only reason I liked this movie was because of this trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Because they show you like all the cool parts. Well, I like how scrolling through these comments, people are like, "Oh my god, it's timed so well to the music." Like that just makes trailers enjoyable.
That's how you know you
But no,
have a good
seriously.
trailer.
The base jumpers. When they show the Halo jumpers in the trailer, it is like
I don't think they're in this
I
one,
don't think they're in this trailer.
but there is a
This is the
trailer
main
because I
trailer, so this
remember I
trailer's
saw
second.
this. I
It was probably
remember
the first one. It was probably the first trailer they released. But it was amazing, in my opinion.
this is another. Yeah, we're watching
Godzilla versus
Godzilla and
too.
Kong.
Yeah, and the advantage that these movies have over everything else is there's always destruction, right? There's always destruction, so they're always going to be able to show you everything destroying, and you're not going to know what's going on, but it's going to look cool. It's going to look good.
Speaking of monster movies,
Yeah, Pacific Rim.
greatest monster movie of all time.
You think so?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Guillermo del Toro himself.
Wow. There's also
That's such a dope first line, by the way. We thought alien life would come from the stars. It came from beneath, and we're like, oh, this is going to be different.
Yeah, true. That's a good one. Yeah, no, for sure. I was gonna make a joke about the Matthew Broderick Godzilla, but being
Yeah, let's not. Anyways,
okay.
what is the trailer that you enjoy? I know you're not a big trailer guy,
Mm-hmm.
but has there been a trailer in the recent
Yeah.
years that you came out that you're like, this is a good trailer?
This might not be recent, but and I already told you this before. The first trailer they released for The Revenant. Now, this movie already had a lot going. It's not this trailer, I don't believe, because this is the official trailer. So that has to be but anyway. Are you
What?
Oh, teaser trailer. Try that.
Teaser. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Teaser
teaser
trailers are always
trailers.
amazing because
Yeah.
it's just dope shot, dope shot,
Yeah.
dope shot. Here's our star.
Yeah.
Dope shot, dope shot.
This movie had a lot
And I'm out.
going for it
In
for me.
a minute
anyway.
and a half.
I'll admit this movie had a lot going for it for me personally because it's Iñárritu, who I love, Lubeski, who I love, DiCaprio, who
DiCaprio.
everyone loves. The setting though was a big factor for me.
Oh, yeah.
love this era of American history.
The Wild Wild West.
I love so much. Yeah, these fur trappers. And as somebody who goes camping and has learned a lot about fur trappers, this stuff is like amazing to me. But and the soundtrack, which was Alvin Odo and Sakamoto, who are amazing artists. But that's not important. What I loved about this trailer, the music in this trailer too. It's not.
It's not from the movie.
It's not from the movie. It is a composer named John Adams, who, if anybody even knows who that is, I'll be impressed. But it's a song from him, and it's just like, it's all the this amazing like orchestral swell kind of sound. It's called Waters because it's meant to sound like water. But there's no dialogue.
Yeah.
There's barely even any sound from the movie in the trailer. I think we get voiceover and that's it. But it just looks cool. And it ends on the shot of him riding the horse.
And the horse goes over the
And
cliff.
the horse goes over the cliff.
When I
and
saw that, I
when
was like,
I'm
damn.
seeing this movie.
So
that
they
was when I
get
was like-
Tom Cruise to do this? Damn.
That was like, I don't care what anyone says. I have to see this movie just for this shot alone.
This movie just looks cold.
This movie.
I mean, Leo almost died like 3 times filming this movie. I
know,
think.
Almost all the cast.
Right?
Almost all the crew did, yeah.
But it's so amazing. Yeah, this shot.
seeing that, I was like, I watched this. You know what's actually really funny? I watched this trailer so many times. Go back to the beginning of the trailer. There is a scene where Leonardo DiCaprio runs through the woods. I was so familiar with this trailer that that, by the way, was a real avalanche that they actually set off. But no, this scene, or it's literally like a 2-second shot of Leonardo DiCaprio running through the woods. This shot right there, I was so familiar with this trailer. The direction he's running in the theatrical cut, that shot's reversed.
What?
It's reversed
What?
In the movie.
So why would they do that? That's cool. I mean, that's cool. But...
how he's running left to right. Now, if you look up
he runs right to left?
Yeah, he runs the other direction. If you look up, you can actually watch it. It should be on YouTube. The camp attack. He runs from... they reversed that shot in the movie. And that's how many times I had watched this trailer. I was like, no way. Yeah, try that one.
Interesting.
You have to go ahead a little bit. No, go back. Go back.
Ugh.
Yeah, this movie is bloody and violent. No, just keep watching it from here. That's how familiar I was with that trailer. That's how many times I watched that trailer in a row.
That's cool.
I literally remember, just sitting in bed watching that trailer, and being like, and then I saw it in theaters. Then I was like, why did they reverse it? What the heck are they doing?
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
It actually threw me off, which is so innocuous, but just the fact that the trailer alone.
That's weird.
Made me so excited.
General Hugs.
Yeah, seriously. This was a good movie too. This one lived up to the trailer, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's another thing we should talk about. Do most movies live up to their trailers? I feel like no. I feel like it's like 50. I mean, barely. 50, it's like 50, 55, 45.
It's almost weird how trailers are almost like a separate
art. Yeah.
Where it's like people are able to acknowledge that, sure, the trailer was different from the movie, but they will appreciate the trailer just as much as they appreciated the movie. Or, once you see the movie and then you go back and you watch the trailer and you're like, okay, now I know where all these scenes are from in the film, even though they're not meant to be seen in chronological order or anything like that. But no, go back up. I swear to God, it's gonna happen. I swear to God.
I don't think it.
Unless they just for some reason.
I think they took it out.
Cut it out.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
He runs the other direction. I told you.
I wonder why they do that.
I have absolutely no idea why they did that.
Because it wouldn't matter.
The thing that bothers me the most.
Because it's not like they're keeping continuity. They're cutting back and forth between him running to the camp and the camp actually on fire.
Yeah. So.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I wonder why they would do that.
Whether it was a decision made for the trailer or
for the movie,
it was made for the movie, I don't know. Because look, he's running left to right.
Yeah.
In this shot, then they cut back to the camp.
Maybe that's why.
And then when they cut back,
maybe that's why they wanted to show that he, ran around.
I have absolutely no idea.
Weird. Inaritu, slide in our DMs and tell us what the issue was with that.
I know this only because I had seen the trailer so many times. That's the only reason I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Which, happens. Because, for example, in trailers, there's always, and I think this was in the Godzilla trailer, too. I was so familiar with the trailer that I noticed when I was watching the movie. In the trailer, they had, a character always says some epic one-liner or something like that.
Yeah.
But in the movie, it was those sentences were said separately from each other. But for the trailer, they put them together to seem like one phrase.
Yeah.
So trailers get away with that,
Movie magic.
That's movie magic.
Is there a director whose trailers you are... I guess I'm asking the wrong person. This is question. But I'm going to ask you anyways because I have my own answer.
Okay.
Is there a director whose trailers you're like, he's gonna have a good trailer. Or I like watching his trailers, even though maybe I don't like watching his movies or whatever.
That is a good question. I would say, you know, I kind of have the opposite reaction with Terrence Malick.
You don't like his trailers?
where I don't like his trailers
Hmm.
because his style
Doesn't lend itself well to
doesn't
trailer
lend
form.
itself to
Yeah.
3 minutes. And what's funny too is that he has such a specific style. It's like Wes Anderson. You know what you're gonna
Yeah.
get into beforehand. So I don't even really need to watch the trailers for his movies. I just know I'm going to enjoy it anyway. You know, and his style is, to be fair to Terrence Malick, his movies are pretty light on plot. So even watching the trailers, you know, like I remember Night of Cups. It was a Christian Bale movie. I actually really did like the trailer for that movie, and it fit the movie when I saw the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, this was what the trailer promised. But then there have been times like, for instance, Tree of Life is such a like eclectic movie. There's a lot that goes on in that film that when you go back and you watch the trailer, you're like, this is barely even half of what happens in the movie. You're promised this much and you only get it so little because there's just so much else going on.
Yeah.
So it's really give or take. But I would say Terrence Malick for me. And that's also just the nature of like, if he has a movie coming out, I'm going to see it anyway. So
fair enough.
I know I'm going to be excited when I see the trailer.
Fair enough.
It's just, what is he doing this time? But what's your answer?
I mean, it's Nolan, man.
Nolan?
I think from Batman, or not Batman, Dark Knight Rises on, his trailers are just its own art form.
Well, what about them?
It's just like this. Nolan is the embodiment of like the human spirit, and like he's this.
Perseverance.
He's this bombastic, like grandioso director. Like you watch a movie of his, you're watching. It's almost like watching an event, and so when you watch the trailers, it's like the lead up. It's like watching a Super Bowl like a lead up to like the promo to the Super Bowl.
I guess, yeah.
At least for me.
I do remember when we were talking about Tenet, and we both had the same complaint that there was a shot in the trailer where a building gets blown up and then it immediately gets put back together. And we both complained how that is the only instance of that in the entire film.
Yeah.
And they had given that away. And it's at the end of the film.
Yeah.
It's in the third act. So to some degree, it's like, because that's the big issue with trailers for me, is
showing too much.
I know, right? Like, if there's a lot of a fight scene in the trailer, that's going to be the only fight scene in the movie. So how much of that do I want to see?
Yeah.
Well, if that's the only time a building gets blown up in the entire film, I kind of don't want to see that.
I want to be surprised.
Yeah, it's like I want to be surprised. I don't want to see oil thrown on the Invisible Man. I want to be surprised.
I don't want to see Alfred Molina pull up in Spider-Man, even though I was very excited for it.
Yeah.
Like that would be a cool theater movie. You know who else does this? Did that? That was extremely infuriating. DC when they did Batman vs Superman.
Was it?
It was Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Because in the first trailer, I remember this. The first trailer, and I was very excited to watch the movie prior to the second trailer. But the first trailer, it has, it's the lead up of like why Batman's gonna fight Superman, why Superman thinks he's right, blah yada yada. And there's a single shot of Gal Gadot in that trailer, and she's in a dress. It's when they're at the dinner party or Lex Luthor's fundraiser or whatever it is.
I'm familiar with that movie.
I'm not, because I never went to go watch it. Anyways, but yeah, so there's a shot of her at the dress, and you're like, wait a minute.
Gal Gadot.
The Fast and Furious ladies in this movie, like obviously she's a somewhat big name. Like, what is she gonna be? And then the very next trailer, like, oh yeah, she's Wonder Woman. It's like, what the like that would have been especially because the scene where she pops out is so amazing. It's like literally her just holding her shield and being like, "Yo, I'm here. What's up?" Yeah. And then the theme song blasts, and you're like, "Yeah, let's get it."
Similar for me was the issue with Civil War when they showed Spider-Man in the trailer for that movie.
That was the same year too. That was the same year.
Like that's another issue with trailers is the thin line between getting an audience hyped and knowing what will hype up an audience.
Yes.
Compare those examples to Interstellar, where Matt Damon was not revealed.
We talked about this
At
at length
all.
when we talked
Yeah.
about Nolan. Yeah, I remember.
He was not in any of the trailers. They went even further and they didn't even put him in any of the promotional material whatsoever. But it's like, okay, we're going to show people Spider-Man in the trailer because we want people to get more hype to see the movie.
Yep.
Or we want to keep Matt Damon a secret in all of the promotional material. So that way when people see the movie, they then get more hyped about it and tell other people, oh my God, there's this person in the
Who's
movie.
in this movie?
And what's weird too is when stuff like that happens, the audience knows to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
The audience knows.
Because it's part of the
They're like,
experience of
"Oh,
watching the movie.
You purposely didn't tell
Yeah.
us he was in this film.
Yeah.
Therefore, when I talk about it, because now I'm hyped, I'm going to say, hey, you got to see this film. You won't believe who's in it. You know? So that's like, because imagine if they never revealed Spider-Man. People would be walking out of the theater like, oh my God, the part where
Spider-Man
he
pulled up.
Yeah. But everyone knew beforehand.
Yeah, and it kind of ruined it. Because as soon as they cut to Brooklyn in the movie, you're like, or where is he? Queens. Yeah. Is it Brooklyn or no? He's Queens. Captain America's
You're
Brooklyn.
acting like I know New York and I don't know.
Well, it's a specific thing because Captain America's like, where are you from, kid?
Borough,
He's
yeah.
like, Queens. He's like, oh, I'm Brooklyn.
I'm just a kid from Brooklyn.
Yeah. It's like, all right, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, people were excited for Alfred Molina to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fair, but at the same time, it's like, now we know it's the multiverse. Now we know it's gonna be more than likely it's gonna be all the Spider-Mans back,
It's also like what
and
else
all
is
their
gonna be in the
villains gonna be
movie?
back.
It's like what else is gonna be in the movie? Like, is it?
Well, the theory is it's Sinister Six.
Mhm.
I mean, we saw Octopus, we saw Doc Ock, and we saw the Green Goblin's little ball.
Yeah.
So do we think, that's 2 of the 6 already? So, I don't know. I feel like the next trailer is going to definitely tell us it's the Sinister Six, though.
Yeah.
And they're more than likely going to have either Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire come out.
I can see it. Yeah.
Because that's just how the MCU goes. I mean, it works for them because it's like this
People
is
see the
me.
movies anyway.
This is me, not the commercial. This is me, the artist, being like, just let people
You wanna
enjoy.
dictate your
Yeah,
own
let
trailers.
people enjoy the surprises that come their way.
Because they probably do a lot of research into the success of their trailers.
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
for sure.
Easy. Is there a trailer that you watched where you were like, this movie kind of sucks, and then you went to actually watch the movie somewhere or another, and you were like, this movie was actually pretty good. And the trailer let me down. Because I have a couple of those.
I'll let you go first then, because then I'll think of something.
Well, Midway.
Didn't you like that movie?
I
right?
did like
You
that
did
movie,
like that
and
movie,
I
yeah.
didn't think I would from the trailer. Like, I'll show you the trailer. We'll watch the trailer right now.
It seems like it would come across as like a generic Roland Emmerich.
See, but it's
disaster
not.
movie.
It's not.
But it by
But
the
the
trailer, or the
trailer,
movie? I
it
was gonna say,
feels like
yeah.
it is. Exactly. That's my point. Because, like, when you watch the trailer, obviously it feels like, oh, this is another war movie about, America surviving World War II, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
When you watch the movie, you
There's
actually
more to it.
kind of appreciate, like, Roland Emmerich literally probably went on IMDb and, like, read 1 million books and was like, actually studied Midway, like the philosophy of Midway. Like, there's a whole, I'm not gonna go into this whole history debate, like this whole history lesson about why Midway happened, but there's a lot of moving parts as far as why the Battle of Midway went
Had
the
to
way
take place,
the way it did. Not just why it took place, but why it went the way it did. And Roland Emmerich really, really understood that, and it's kind of lost in the trailer. Like, to me, the trailer felt like another Pearl Harbor.
It's like I was gonna say Pearl Harbor
Yeah.
Part 2.
It's Pearl Harbor Part 2, which
Just with more
I can't believe I
aircraft
actually
carriers.
just said that unironically. It's Pearl Harbor Part But, yeah, see, like, you're watching this trailer and you're just like, oh, this is like...
When our freedom was under attack.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's this cliche, World War II lines and,
One battle will turn.
these pilots are going to save the world
America,
from
yeah.
the evil empire, But the movie is so much
There's more
more
of
than
this
that,
for
and
the
it's like, if only you knew how to make a movie trailer.
Well, that's good.
It doesn't help that it's also a CGI fest.
Yeah. So that a lot of people probably
Yeah,
dismiss
see,
it based on that.
like all
Yeah.
that, and then
Was that one of the Jonas Brothers?
yeah, it's Nick Jonas.
Huh.
He's not bad in this movie actually.
Hey, Jonas
He's
is
not.
in this
He's
one.
not amazing. I'll be
I think
honest.
Jonas is in this one. Freaking Harry Styles is in Dunkirk. So what can you do? Well, what's another example you had?
Trying to think.
Midway. In theaters. Rated R. This Friday.
Of a trailer I didn't like, but a movie
Baloney.
but I liked the movie. Well, so when I say this, I've watched the movie first, and then I went back to watch the trailer. So it's not really like a
1-to-1.
Yeah, a comparison. But everybody wants some. The
Remember his name?
Linklater film.
There you go.
The trailer is really, really bad.
Yeah.
It's like this stereotypical 2000s, like, oh, we're just gonna get drunk all weekend and party it up in college, and the movie's actually kind of better than that. I mean, it's still that, but it's,
It's sometimes it really is a matter of like how the movie wants to sell itself.
Which is really interesting because Dazed and Confused had the same problem. I know people are tired of me talking about Dazed and Confused in this podcast. But like,
take a drink for all the people.
Yeah,
listening
take a shot. That's 2 shots. James brought up Terrence Malick.
Oh yeah.
See, like it's.
So yeah.
You got the stereotypical voiceover.
I see. You know a movie? I'll say? Neighbors.
Yeah.
Zac Efron,
Yeah. You thought it was gonna be like
Rogen.
another stupid
Well,
comedy,
like
like a Seth Rogen comedy,
Yeah.
and it was actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
A genuinely good.
I think comedies just kind of have that problem of
for
like
sure.
the way they want to market their movies. Because another one that I thought was dumb, but was actually kind of smart. I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? Crap, I forgot it. In the middle of talking. Edge of 17. There you go. Thank you,
okay.
Jesus. It's in the.
It's
in the recommended. That's another one.
That was one where I saw the trailer and I was like, nah.
Exactly, and then I had to actually go watch it for an assignment, and I was like, this is actually pretty good. Like, this is a good movie.
I still haven't seen it.
Instant Family. That's another trailer where I was like, this looks dumb, and then I actually watched it, and I was like, it's not that bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah, but no, that's what I would say. As like, and part of it too is the repetition of trailers.
Yeah.
You see it so many times, you're like, I've seen this trailer so many times, it's no longer interested. I don't care about your movie anymore. And that was with Neighbors. It was like, I just seen this trailer so many times, I don't care about Seth Rogen comedies. Oh, it's actually good.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah. So
now, do you feel like since we both have agreed that there's an art to making trailers, do you feel like there's room for trailers to evolve? Because my favorite kind of teaser trailers are where it's like one shot from the movie. Your microphone fell down.
wow, my microphone fell down. Sorry, guys.
Where it's like it's one shot from the movie. That's all you get to see. The Dune teaser trailers were like that. And that's what the kind of stuff I like. I'm a bit more extreme where I'm like, if that was the only trailer from the movie I got, I would be happy with that. I remember Blade Runner was like that. It's the shot where he walks into the desert. And that was like the only image from the movie.
Wow. Get the Hans Zimmer score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Titanic too.
There's no such thing as Titanic. No. Anyway, my point is, where do you see trailers being able to evolve, or what do you want from more trailers? Like, do you like it when trailers use like pop songs?
No.
I was thinking about this the other day because I shout out to Kanye West, but I remember when the song Black Skinhead was in every single movie trailer for like.
I was gonna say the only exception is Kanye West. If a Kanye West song is in a trailer, I'm into it. Other than that, no, go home.
Every comedy had that song in it.
Or a Kid Cudi song.
Yep. So it's like, no. That's a no from me, dog.
You know, it's a good trailer that has a Kanye song though in it.
What?
The Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Great
I
Gatsby
remember
trailer?
Great Gatsby. I don't remember
Which
the trailer.
that's
but
another movie where I saw the trailer, wasn't into it, saw the movie, and was like, "That's a dope movie."
don't
Because
think
I didn't
I've
really
seen
like the
it.
trailer.
No.
I wasn't feeling the trailer. I was
I
like,
think-
"This looks weird. Like, why is it so
Yeah.
CGI for?" Is this supposed to be 1920s America or 2020s America or
Yeah.
2120s America?
It's a
Like, what is this?
interesting style of movie.
But then you watch the movie and you're
It's
like,
not bad.
"Oh, that makes sense."
Yeah.
That makes
It's
sense.
a very good movie. Actually, it's one of those movies where
I
it's
was
like...
actually watching that trailer earlier when we, as in preparation for this pod.
No, it's a good movie,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I hate Daisy, but regardless.
You don't like Carey Mulligan?
No. The actress is fine.
Oh, okay, just the character.
I hate her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the character.
Speaking of Carey Mulligan, I remember the movie Shame had a trailer. It was probably one of the teaser trailers where it was Michael Fassbender, and he was running down the street, and that was it. I don't remember
That
if
sounds
that
cool.
was the entire teaser trailer. But it's a Carey Mulligan.
Oh, I think I haven't seen this trailer, but I know.
of the
I think I've
movie.
seen this movie.
Yeah.
Or no, I haven't seen this movie, but I know of it. Foxler Searchlights. You know it's gonna be good.
NC-17. You know it's gonna be.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. This one?
Yeah. him running
I
down the
do remember
street.
this trailer. I do remember this trailer because I remember people were talking about it.
Yeah.
It was like a big thing.
Just that shot of him running down the street like that, where it's like just that one shot alone. I'm like, yeah, I want to see this movie. I don't know what it is about it though. This is also a Steve McQueen movie, so if you remember me praising
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen back when I was talking about 12 Years a Slave, I would also recommend Shame. Although keep in mind it is NC-17.
NC-17.
So if you're not into,
It's gonna be pretty bad.
yeah.
Pretty heavy stuff.
I know that I have admitted on this podcast that I hate sex scenes, and I hate like sex in any capacity in all of these movies and TV shows. But this was still a good movie,
Oh, this has a sex scene in the trailer.
even though this whole
Oh, wow.
movie is a sex scene.
Yeah.
It's still a good movie. A
Is there-
cinematic jolt.
Now, is there a good movie
Hmm.
that you think had a bad trailer? Like a top. I'm not talking like a movie you were entertained by. I'm talking like a top tier, like art movie, high art movie that you think had a bad trailer.
In a weird way, the one that comes to mind is the movie Enter the Void. The reason why I think of that is because the trailer is amazing, but
This
it's
one?
very, yes, that one.
Mhm.
The trailer is amazing. If you don't want to watch the movie, just watch the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very different from the movie. There are a lot of scenes in the trailer that only appear in the movie for maybe like 5 or so minutes,
Mhm.
but the entire trailer is pretty much just those scenes.
Hmm.
So it's like you kind of know what you're getting into, but you kind of don't. Like, for instance, all of that stuff that you're seeing right now, that's literally, this is just like the first 10 minutes of the movie,
Oh, jeez.
but it's the entire
Trailer.
trailer.
It's pretty smart.
And so it's like it in a weird way it is a bad trailer for that reason. If you want to know what the movie's like, just watch the trailer.
I mean, I could, I'm seeing dirty bathrooms. I can. Oh, yeah. I can tell what this is about.
But you know what else? I'll show you this afterwards. If anybody wants a good laugh, Enter the Void. This trailer, somebody a mashup between this and All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Oh, jeez.
It is one of the most amazing things. I think it's called All Dogs Into the Void or something like that. But don't watch that now because
Okay, I'll watch
we
it.
can't have copywritten sound.
Nobody can hear this.
The soundtrack for this, by the way, was written by Thomas, however you pronounce his last name, from Daft Punk.
Hmm.
The dude with the
Interesting.
silver helmet.
The artist formerly known as Daft Punk.
Yeah, the artist formerly one half of Daft Punk.
Of Daft Punk.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, no, that would be my choice. Is where it was like, because this was one of those examples where I watched the trailer over and over and over and over and over, and then I saw the movie, and like 20 minutes in the movie, I was like, wait, that was the entire trailer. Well, what's the rest of the movie gonna be? What's going on, guys?
Yeah, that's actually really smart.
It's yeah.
Because they always say in a screenplay, when you write a screenplay, the first 20 minutes need to catch you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The first, if you're not caught by page 20, or it's like, what is it, like page
something like that.
something like
Sometimes
10
it's
or
even like 5 or 10.
yeah, it's like if I can't keep turning after page 5, I'm not having, like, this movie's not selling.
Yeah.
So it's pretty. I mean, it makes sense to put all of your eggs into making a good intro and then showing that intro.
Yeah.
To be like, well, if this is the intro,
what's the rest of the movie?
what is the rest of the movie? I mean, it's basically a pitch.
Yeah. Which is exactly what the trailer is. Look at that. No, but that for me, it's the only reason I consider that a bad trailer is because it's, in a weird way, it's not what I expected. Why do you have orangutan videos on your?
I don't know. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's because I'm incognito. It's not signed up to my account. Yeah, it's just going off of what I've watched on incognito.
Oh man.
Which, isn't much because all I go on incognito for is to upload videos.
Yeah, that's why Mia Khalifa is on the first video.
Okay, first of all, we're watching movie trailers. It's a movie trailer for Rami.
It's
a trailer for Rami.
That's the TV show. It's the trailer for the TV show. Yeah, I was like, are they?
And she's in it.
She's in the show. Yeah, good show, by the way.
I'm not watching porn on YouTube,
We
guys.
have not talked about this show at all. I think I did once. Rami is an amazing show.
I think you had talked about it once.
It's a really good show.
Mm-hmm.
I like how all the comments are about Mia Khalifa.
I can see. Yeah. That brings me to, I guess, our next topic: TV shows.
Trailers for TV shows.
A lot harder to pull off because you don't have 2.5 hours to grab content from.
But
really, like 2 hours if you're being smart. You have like 22 hours.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is you can't show too much because it's 22, 10, 8, 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's big plot twists that you want to keep the audience in suspense for.
That, for me, instantly the show that comes to mind is Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where they would do their trailers for each season, and it would be like, this amazing thing is gonna happen, and everyone is so hyped. But it's like episode 7 it's like the end of
10.
the season.
Yeah.
And by that point, either the season has sucked and nobody cares, or it's like in the story itself, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But they made it look like a big deal in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're like,
what's another show that did a really good job on that?
For example, the Battle with the White Walkers. What?
Another good show that was really good about that was The Walking Dead.
I was also
back in their heyday.
Back in the heyday of season 1 and 2.
Prior to I'll say season 5. They were very good at breaking. Well, I mean, they broke up their seasons in halves, anyways.
Yeah.
But they were very good at showing only like the first 2 or 3 episodes of each half in their trailers, and then after that, it was just what's gonna happen. Like the ending of 2 when they kill or they have to leave the farm. I don't think it was in any promotional material whatsoever. And so when the prison pulls up at the end, you're like, oh shit, like, what's gonna happen next season? And then in season 3, we didn't even know about the governor until like halfway through season 3, and it was like, and then when everybody was freaking out because everybody knows who the governor is. I mean, he's one of the most iconic movie antagonists or comic book antagonists of all time. So everybody's like, "Oh my god!" And I thought that was. I remember being in the moment, being like, "Wow, this is good. This is good." Like, I'm genuinely, I'm both excited for the new season, and also in suspense of the new season. Yeah. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
I also remember back when Breaking Bad was in its final season.
Yes.
And we got a trailer for every single episode.
Yes.
Leading up to the finale.
Yes. I remember that too. Which is actually really, really cool because that's the only... So I was watching it casually that whole summer prior to the final season.
Oh, yeah.
And then they went on that heyday of like trailer after trailer after trailer for the final season. And I was like, I only have 6 days! I need to hurry up! And I remember, I think the last season was on a Monday. or Sunday. So the last episode was on a Sunday,
Mm.
and I saw the trailer that Friday night for the final episode, and I was like, I'm still 6 episodes away. I had to binge it all in one day. I binged all of
Those are
season.
all long episodes too.
Yeah, I binged all of season 5 in a day and a half
Those are
to
almost
watch
all
the
like an hour
to
long.
watch the
Yeah.
premiere live.
That's hilarious.
So thank you for that, AMC, but also F you for that. Looking back on it,
That's pretty.
because you basically dominated the airwaves.
The only other trailers. Well, first off, I should say the reason why those trailers, for Game of Thrones, worked or didn't work, I should say, is like I said, it was because they would be showing you stuff that was so late in the show that by the time you got to it, you either had lost interest, or it even wasn't even as big of a deal as it seemed to be.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead ones work was because they were withholding things. The Breaking Bad ones worked solely because it was Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
It was the final season, and everyone was hyped for it anyway.
Greatest show of all time.
Everyone was gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ones that work, for me, I think of for the most recent Rick and Morty season, where they released an entire episode,
Just straight up.
which Primal did too. When Primal was in its first season, they released the first episode, or no, not the first episode. They released the second or so episode. But that for me is like the ultimate trailer.
Mhm.
Is to say, you want to see how the season's gonna go. Just here's an entire
Watch
episode.
an episode of the
Yeah.
season.
Which both of those shows, by the way, are Adult Swim. So
That seems like a very much
yeah,
Adult
it's
Swim
very
thing.
much, yeah, that's very much their thing.
Trying to jog my memory on
Trying to
any
find-
TV show trailers. Yeah, it's very hard to make a TV show like a
Mhm.
good, impactful trailer for a
show.
TV show.
Here's the thing with TV shows, it's different though than with movies, because to a degree with movies it's like how much is the people. Oh, there's the Schumacher trailer, or Schumacher, however it's pronounced.
Let's go.
Documenting on my
It's a documentary,
Schumacher
though. It's
that-
not a TV show. Doesn't count.
Spoiler alert: we might review it for the show.
We are.
Okay. The Seinfeld official trailer. How do you sell that? But what was I gonna say? Yeah, with movies, I feel like with TV shows, it's really more so about the look and the aesthetic of the show than it is with movies. Because with movies, it's like who's behind it,
Mhm.
who's in it.
Yeah.
But with TV shows, it's like, does this visually look interesting?
Euphoria was like that.
Yeah,
I remember that being the
visually-
main hype behind Euphoria was like, oh,
Yeah.
it's skins, but it's LA
Yeah.
on LSD,
Yeah,
basically.
and visually looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glitter, lots of glitter.
Yeah.
Primal,
Fluorescent lights. You know, everybody likes
Yeah.
fluorescent lights.
neon,
Neon
lights.
fluorescent lights.
Primal was the same way, where it was like, oh, this just looks amazing. Doesn't matter what happens in it.
Just looks cool.
It barely even. I mean, it matters who's behind it, but to a degree, it didn't, because it's like it just looks freaking cool to watch. I remember what's funny too. The opposite of that was Rick and Morty. When it came out, and everyone was like, "This looks terrible. This show's ugly," but everyone loved the writing for it so much that they were like, "Okay,
Yeah, that first season was rough.
yeah, yeah, for sure." Okay. So as we are wrapping up,
What is this? Okay.
I'm gonna ask you: do you remember? Unless you are gonna talk about what we do in the shadows.
What we do in the shadows.
That
One of
is
the
great
one of the
trailers. I remember we watched that in the class. That was
Th-
hilarious.
those trailers we watched in class got me to watch the show.
It's a good show.
I've seen the first. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
already seen the first 2 seasons. I like binged them within the first week of them coming out.
That is a great.
Good comedy.
Yeah. Now I was gonna say, speaking of stuff we watched in school, I took a class. I think you were in this class too. We watched 2 trailers for the same movie, but they were different trailers. John Carter of Mars,
Yes, I remember this.
Disney movie that was anticipated to fail. They released a trailer for the movie. The first trailer for it, whether it was a teaser or not, was very somber, grim, science fiction, advent. Like,
yeah, it was
mystery.
kind of like
It was like Sherlock Holmes in space, kind
yeah.
of. Or like The Prestige in space is probably more accurate. But that didn't generate enough interest. I guess that didn't test well with focus groups. Because the next trailer they
made
released
another
for that
trailer.
movie was like an action comedy.
Yeah.
It was the same movie, but the way that the
They cut it.
trailer was edited and the scenes they showed. Like, I remember specifically the first trailer, there was no aliens. But the second trailer, there's a ton of aliens. And it's like, is this even the same movie? Where are you?
Where did they get the
this
aliens from?
Yeah. Where is this? Tonally, the trailers were so different. Just the fact that it was one movie is really the power of trailers, because it's what kind of tone do you want to set for your film, you know, which all of the examples I've given, like Enter the Void, sure, I'll complain that it's not really telling you what you're getting into. It still matches the tone of the film. It's consistent in that regard.
Yes.
And so even though it's like, we're not going to show you everything, or we're going to deceive you a little bit with what you're going to get, you still feel like you're getting the same thing by when you watch the movie. With the John Carter stuff, it was like,
This
these
is
are
different.
just two different movies.
Yeah.
Which I think, if anything, that's really where the power of trailers lies, because it's
The ability to morph your
perception of the film.
what you think it's gonna be about, and how you feel about it changes.
So I mean,
which is another thing that I appreciate about guys like Nolan, Tarantino. I'll even throw Fincher in there. Is their trailers tonally match their films.
Yeah.
Like, we watch a Tarantino trailer, we know it's gonna be like this almost
balls to the
buddy
wall.
cop, like balls to the walls, funny, lots of feet.
Blood.
It's gonna have a dope soundtrack.
Samuel L.
We
Jackson.
watch a Fincher movie, we know we're gonna be unsettled, or a film, or even TV show, we know we're gonna be unsettled. We know we're gonna feel gross, but we're gonna be entertained nonetheless.
Yeah.
And Nolan, obviously, I've already talked about Nolan. To me, those three guys are like, probably their trailers are some of the best. Whether that's them having the final say on it, or just the way their films are.
Anyway,
Who knows? You know, we can't peek behind their GM folder or whatever. The
DM
what is it
screen.
called? The DM screen. There you go. Thank you. I don't play D&D. But yeah, it's becoming a lost art for sure, especially with more and more trailers trying to push for more of that shock factor and that hype, and not actually
hype through spoiling stuff.
Yeah, not actually.
Ender's Game. Looking at you.
Percy Jackson 2.
Ender's Game is a great book.
Harry Potter 1.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
You don't know the story of Harry Potter right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think that's it for us. Any
thoughts on trailers?
Any other good trailers that you think people should
read Ender's Game? It's a good book.
Okay. This isn't flip the page. This is hit play.
Don't watch Ender's Game.
Actually, when you watch when Ender's Game comes on, hit pause, not play.
Yeah, hit pause.
That's a hit pause. That's a hit pause from us.
But if you're listening to the audiobook, hit play.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. This was not sponsored by Audible. All right, yeah, I guess we're out of here. Next week, I think we're having a review of some kind. Maybe. I don't want.
When does the Schumacher documentary come out?
September 15th.
Oh my god, that's so far away.
It's so far away.
I thought that was next week.
Do we want to talk about the exciting race that was Belgium?
We'll have the Dutch Grand Prix to talk about.
Do we want to talk about the Belgian Grand Prix, right, the whole 3 laps in 4 hours it took to finish?
No.
And we're out of here. See you guys tomorrow night. Next weekend.